Welcome back to episode 6 of Amnesia Party.
Again.
Again, said I had to press record. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
He's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Not worry.
Well, cool. Guys, we've been doing this for 6 sessions. That's 6 weeks. That's almost 2 months of Amnesia Party.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, sorry. I don't know. I was just realizing that. Milestone. But just to recap from last session, it was kind of a short session just because we were down a couple people and I didn't want to jump into too much of the story. But the party leveled up to level 2. With your new skills, everyone was heading back to and staying the night at the barn, at Liven's barn, having reconnected Liven with his son Daniel after a brief run-in with an imposter that looked identical to Enigma. After defeating this imposter, you discovered, or I should say Enigma discovered, some interesting things. Whether or not Enigma's going to share those, that's up to Enigma. But the party then returned back to the outskirts of Tetelesi at Liven's farm and is now there for the evening. And I believe Rick and Cytheris wanted to do something.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Cytheris is...
I was going to pull out a memory.
Yes.
So, we were about to take a long rest, right?
Yes, we're gearing up to go to bed for the evening.
Way before I go to bed, can I make like a falcon's brew?
You do not have the components to make Falconer's Brew. You'd have to go collect the components, but
What are the components again? Can you write me?
I'll text you.
Okay.
Sounds... Didn't you say my wire gun was damaged?
Yes, your wire gun is damaged at the moment.
He got the things out.
No, wait.
I don't know.
I fixed it, remember? Bro, I didn't fix it all the way, but I did.
You fixed it.
I did tinker it up a little.
You got about 8 steps out of 10. So you did a lot of tinkering on it, and you seem to fix it up pretty well. But it does still have some kinks in there. If you'd like to spend the remainder of your evening repairing it, you can.
Well,
I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Where's my AC? We don't have any armor, do we?
I mean, you don't have any armor, so just
Except
plus
just for my
yeah.
for my helmet.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just your.
So technically just
It's 10 plus your dexterity modifier,
10 plus my.
and then whenever you have your helmet on, you add 2 to that until you get armor, and then you'll do that jazz.
Actually, I got 15. It's not bad. Well, actually,
So yeah, if y'all two would like to.
Oh yeah, well I still had the spell up. I didn't change it to anything else. I
Yep.
meditated to anything else. So I'll just reach up and just pull it out and hand it to you and say, don't lose it or you'll never remember it again. Not that you remember it now, but you might remember it later. I hope it helps.
The Baki fella. You're pretty good with your tinkering skills. You said that's correct.
yeah, I'd say so. What's up?
Well, shoot. I would kind of like to add some little bit of a little shock, as one would say, to my wire gun here.
A little shock, you say, huh?
Yes, sir. I'd like to make it into a trap, if I wanted to. Could you tinker with my wires? In a platonic way, of course.
Oh,
Interesting
gosh.
choice, Dwayne. Can I do that?
Yeah, with required components, you could probably engineer a way to do this. You'd have to design the blueprints for it and collect components to do it to alter the wire gun, but you could certainly try.
do have wireman tools if you need that.
Yeah, I think that would help quite a lot. What you got?
Tools.
Tools. Let me see them.
You go, bud. What can you do?
What do I see?
So you see, it's a series of small pliers and wrenches and a small hammer and screwdrivers. It's basically just a regular small tool kit. They just seem to be the correct size, and they have all the fittings for the wire gun. You see a couple of extra screws, things like that. Nothing in there that would give you access to creating
What he's looking for.
what he's looking for.
Okay.
But if you'd like, you can try and spend the remainder of the evening between the two of you designing a blueprint for such a device.
Alright.
And I will give you advantage on this because you have experience in creating similar devices, such as the one that you found back in the cathedral.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can roll separately, and you can roll with advantage.
Okay.
Plus your sorry, go one second. Do a straight intelligence check for me.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
14 for the first one. And then for the second one, it's 21.
21?
Oh, sorry. 21.
10. Yeah. So, throughout the remainder of the evening, Dwayne, you're just kind of watching over Baki's shoulder as you see Baki pull out some spare parchment and begins scribbling some notes. And before too long, you kind of are left in the dust as Baki is just kind of going off and detailing out how this design would be
You just see
implemented.
a pretty strong, old-looking man just
Yeah.
kind of looking like a
I'm just
nerd.
That makes a lot of sense.
So you see it as... Can you follow what I'm doing here, Dwayne?
Of course I can. Buddy.
Alright, cool. Is that...
Yeah.
My
Chicken.
God,
Hey, what did I
you
say?
made it. We just started.
Before
and it's
9:30.
already
What did I
complete.
say? Before 9:30.
Incredible.
We haven't even finished going to sleep from the last session. So,
Yeah.
I had faith in Sundays. Who is Stacy?
9:03.
You serious? How slow was it? What time did you start closing down?
We are proud of you.
What time did you start closing down?
Real early.
Ignore the.
And then I went and busted the entire inside of the restaurant.
You serious?
Who was busting? You must have busted some
Lords
of Lost.
Who was supposed to be busting that night?
Well, Peyton was the best.
Okay.
Oh shit! He told me he wasn't working today. I think. I'm sorry.
So I will text you what the components are, but by the end of your brainstorming session with Dwayne, you feel that you're pretty close to if you got the certain components, you could probably create some sort of mock-up and fiddle around with this new device. It would take you some time, but you feel as though that you could take a swing at it. I'll text you the components later, just so we don't do that at the table. But I also just sent you the ingredients for your Falconer's Brew.
no, I'm out. I went to sleep.
Y'all are asleep? Okay. Enigma, is there anything you'd like to do? You are currently in Liven's barn. This is after you got back from the woods. It's pretty dark outside. Liven and Damiel have gone to bed in the main house. Is there anything you'd like to do? Oh, I don't think you have your sheet from... Oh, yeah. No. Okay, cool. So this is stuff that you... Yeah.
Yeah, I saved it. I put it over there. I was like,
They want to sleep too.
It was like, okay. So, at level 2, because you did level up, you get to choose a fighting style. You get to choose any one of those. And then the other thing that you get to do is down at the bottom you see future plans.
Mhm.
You did go ahead and collect the necessary components to begin construction on one of these. So if you'd like to go ahead and select one, you could spend an hour to make progress on one of those. You have the necessary blueprints. All you would need to do is begin constructing an upgrade. So if you'd like, you can begin doing one of those. Yeah. Is anyone else doing anything? Bucky?
Can I step outside and what I want to do for I guess a couple hours? Just kind of want to practice with my my melee weapons, my martial melee weapons. Kind of I guess just.
It is pretty dark outside right now, so
Okay.
you can go outside. I don't believe you have any sort of dark vision or anything, so you'd more or less be swinging in the
Pitch black.
dead of night. It's not so much. It's not pitch black, but I wouldn't really be able to give you any bonuses
Alright, then those guys
without
would-
light to practice. But you're more than welcome to go out and practice.
Nah, I can't really see that. I guess
Yeah.
I'll just go to bed.
How many spell slots for level 2 sign
It should be from a wizard. Wizard list. All right.
Thank you.
And is that what everyone else wants to do for the evening? With that, we're going to go ahead and take a long rest. Everyone regains hit points. Any expended abilities are regained. And as the morning begins, you wake in Liven's barn, and an immediate chill is felt in the air. Seems to be a brisk morning. It doesn't really. No one in the group really remembers quite where they are and where Titelesi is located in the general vicinity of the continent. So the climate is not particularly well known to you. So the brisk morning is quite a different tone from the previous couple of days, where it was warm, not hot, but it was warm. This is an oddly cool morning for you.
Oh, this.
Be nipply out, boys.
I activate one of my supernatural gifts and raise the temperature by 10 degrees. Just in an area around me.
And a little,
It's natural space here.
anyone close to Cytheris suddenly feels a little bit of a warming sensation as your arms begin warming up, and
Not one for the elements.
I can go for a pretty healthy breakfast right now, man.
Whew. Radiating, sir.
Do any of you have money for breakfast?
Shit, fair point,
No.
man. Fair point, Seth.
Okay, so the nice man,
Yeah.
the man who didn't lie to us, who I have
okay, go ahead and knock it off.
will also eat the half of berries for breakfast.
We need my carrots.
You mark it down.
All right, you can go,
Tasty carrots.
you can go ahead and mark it off.
You think we should go look for information on D? Think we should go ask Arby? Where
Okay.
do you think he's not telling us everything? I'll be honest.
What are you people talking about?
Oh, so yesterday, Arby gave us some food.
Who
is
the
Arby?
fuck is Arby?
He's the owner
You
of
ate
Arby's.
yesterday real food.
Yeah. At Arby's, they have
What?
meats. You didn't know
You
about
have
this?
to
They
be
have
the
meats.
rudest person I've ever met. Well, let us
Well,
go
to
to
be fair-
Arby's then.
To be fair, I was extremely drunk throughout the whole time.
You-
I guess I suppose Amon, you could have told him, but
he got
you know, I mean,
he got drunk as
Yeah.
well.
yeah.
Story for another time. So what's the point?
Anyway.
what's the topic, fella?
He wants to get us he wants information. This person named D thinks she's a competitor. She's a threat to him. He's like, get permission, come back, give you a free meal. I'm like, okay. So me and him want to agree to help him out.
Get some info on this D.
Just for a free meal?
Yeah.
Hey, they
Right.
got the seats, man. I mean, I think you can't really imagine. You weren't in that situation. I think you would have definitely tipped the meats.
Yeah.
Well,
I was pretty hungry and I was pretty desperate for food right there.
well,
I mean, when you're desperate, you do things. So I apologize.
me
But-
and the dwarf met a very rude man yesterday who yelled at us.
Who?
And
Yeah, I
I
didn't
don't
be
remember his
getting
name. He was an asshole.
goddamn meat. I got discriminated against.
It was in fact discrimination. I saw it.
Where was this at?
Some racist piece of shit ass house.
The man who owned the shop, who gave us the items in good faith to find the woman.
What was his name?
I can't remember his name.
Do you remember the girl's name?
Thalia Grave.
His name was Tivian.
Taking notes.
I'm like, I have Tibian down, but I didn't.
How do you spell that?
My notes are like the notes of a psycho.
How do you spell that?
Tyvian.
T-Y-V.
Also, I think I have a different notebook than I had last time.
T-Y-V.
A.
A.
Wait, sorry. Tyvian. I don't know how to spell right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
T-Y-V.
been a, yeah.
He's a piece of
Okay.
shit.
I know what you're trying to say.
Hey, man, how about this? Me and Amon will go check this. Do you remember where this so-called asshole was? Maybe me and Amon can talk to him.
Well, it's the nicest house in town, you can't.
And as for Arby's, do you remember? Amon, remember which way Arby's was? We'll send them. Maybe they can get some food from him.
I maybe
Yeah,
remember.
I spent most of this time
Yeah, I could
with
do
the
that.
dog.
Brandon, do you remember where Arby's was?
I remember where Arby's is.
Okay.
I mean, well, I don't know if your
Actually,
characters
I
would
don't-
remember
I
because
don't
we all
remember.
don't remember
You-
shit, really.
You can make a history check.
Okay. Awesome.
This is the best part about having Amnesia. We can just make history checks all the time.
Oh, plus 2. Not you.
So you were pretty inebriated for the entire time that you were at Arby's yesterday. So you don't quite recall the walk home, or the not necessarily home, the walk back to the barn. It's in town for sure.
It's up from
I'll be honest,
Jesse's.
I was pretty drunk.
I'm gonna
when
go
I-
ask
Can you use a
Mike
theory
where
that
Arby's
MC Hammered?
I know where it is. It's across from Jesse's.
Amon,
shit,
what do you
man,
say
buddy.
we go talk to
Let's
that
go get the meat.
asshole?
I'm just gonna
That
fall.
Seth, the one we're talking about.
Might as well.
Might as well let's
Jesse- Jesse-
Hold up.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
One at a time.
Yeah.
sorry. I thought.
I want my meat.
God.
This is already confusing enough for literally everyone. So
I was like literally my arms spinning
Yeah.
around. So
I remember Haseiken telling us that we could go and get free food from him. And it was across the street. We go into Hasei's house, then we get to go across the street from Hasei's house and eat food at Arby's where they have the meats.
wonderful. You watch Cytheris exit the barn.
I just follow him.
I'll follow.
I already ate, but I'm just following.
We've been arguing for 20 minutes.
Make a trade.
Just remember things. It's hard.
As you exit the barn, and you're walking along the path up to the side of Liven's house and past and further into the direction of Satellisi, the center of town, you feel a small crunch beneath your feet as you look down, and some of the grasses seem to have partially frozen dew clinging to it as it kind of crunches softly underneath. It gives way, and as the sun rises over the next 10 minutes as you walk into town, you feel it begin to melt slightly, and it turns into more of a slosh. There's no sign of snowfall or anything. It just seems to have a cold. It seems to be a cold morning. As you make your way into Tatellasi, you spot the familiar buildings, familiar hatch, stone, and wooden constructs. And you see the well in the middle of town, the message board, some few papers stuck to it. The same papers that y'all had seen prior to, detailing number of workers that were in the fields that day, who was working, some other things as well. And there aren't too many houses. There's maybe a dozen or so houses, so it's pretty easy to spot a very large 2-story, nicer looking, mostly stone building, and then immediately adjacent to it is a smaller building, a small column of smoke coming out of it, coming out of the chimney. And as you get closer and closer to the center of town, the smell of warm, delicious meat seems to waft from that direction.
Mm-hmm.
The smell of biscuits wafting over.
Mate.
Actually, going in a little more deeper in this town, has Rick ever come across this town in his travels?
What do you do?
Let's say I have to recall any memory of this.
Make a history check.
I would remind you that it's been 8 hours and you've had the thing. And you just do that. That's how I do it. I don't know how you, or you could maybe eat it.
I don't want to take that risk, but I'm not sure.
I just hit it in my head.
I don't want to throw up my berries.
You try what you try. To each their own.
Each there?
What's the history? 14 on the history. At the same time, also.
Okay.
Or ambiguous object, whatever milky thing.
Sure. So for the history check, you do not recall traveling through Tatellasi, specifically trying to remember your way to the cathedral. Who you were with whenever you were coming, what your reason for coming was, whether you were here by accident. Nothing seems to spark memory. And as a final effort, you reach into wherever it was stored, and you pull out the extracted memory that Cytheris had procured the evening prior to. Looking at it, it does have a little bit of a weight to it. It's almost like a tennis ball in weight, except it's. As you shove it into your face, your eyes kind of roll back a little bit as your vision obscures and clouds slightly, and as you come into focus, you see Tatellasi in front of you, and you see
anything familiar with the buildings? Any building from particular?
roll a D100 actually. So we're rolling a D100 to see what memory he recalls, and that's going to be fun. Let's see what he figures out. It's on the list. What you got? What you got?
57?
You gotta get it flat.
Roll.
That's gonna be 59.
59.
59.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? The good thing is it's only like 3 hours.
You see Tatellasi in front of you. You see the buildings, everything looks fairly similar. It doesn't seem to have the same damp air hanging around it. It seems to be a bright summer's day. You see a couple of figures that are marching off into the direction of where you had come from. That leads off towards the cathedral. They don't.
Like shadows.
You are able to make out human figures. You're able to see faces as their backs are towards you as they're walking off out of town. But they are carrying, or they're shuffling a wheelbarrow, and there's a wagon behind them as well. It seems to be a small caravan of maybe about 15 people, 15 workers or so, that are heading off into that direction. They just seem to be some of the wheelbarrows, and they seem to be some of the same wheelbarrows that you had seen around town, almost as if these were lent by the townspeople to shovel and
Like a trade caravan.
almost. As soon as this memory comes to you, it leaves you, as your vision obscures clouds once more, and then you are back in reality and kind of glance around at the rest of the group.
Remember vaguely nothing this time. I'll just follow y'all.
Not always useful, but sometimes it is.
I want a creamy orb.
And not some kind of memory
Please.
dispenser. Jesus.
You're certainly acting like it.
Got a quarter?
I can find a quarter.
Do you remember yesterday when we went to talk to that man and you were like, "Ooh, I'm a big, strong dwarf."
Because
And
I
then
am, buddy.
And then I had to step in because he was a very, very large man. And then we had to leave.
Size does not matter, buddy.
Seth,
Fuck it. There you go. You have one.
Any information at this point?
Excellent.
No, I can't do anything, but...
You watch. You watch as this strangely orange string of plasma is pulled from your forehead as it kind of coagulates in your hand. You now have a small ball of orange-ish energy that is. It feels almost like Jello, except that it doesn't break apart in your hands.
It's like slime.
A little bit. It's a little
Totally
bit,
different
yeah.
than what I had over.
Did I have to... I would have had
This
to touch
looks
that.
disturbing.
a little bit. Yeah,
Oh,
there's a little bit on your finger.
God, it shouldn't be that color.
Shoot.
Oh.
Be interested.
I would have popped that in my face.
Mm-mm.
No.
hey,
If you
On to the
I'll do it
meats.
for- Yes, go.
what do you say we
Let's
go
go
talk
with
to
it.
that? What's his name?
Tivian?
Tired.
Tie me in.
So
Asshole guy.
with Tivian, here's the thing. I'm 90% sure he's a bald-faced liar. In every sense of the word.
Don't like liars.
No one likes a liar. Ask him about Thalia Grave. Try to play buddy-buddy with him.
What do you say, Emma?
It's worth a shot.
Cool.
You guys go enjoy the meats.
Buddy,
We
you know
will.
I will.
Be over after we have
Well,
breakfast.
where do y'all want to meet? Well,
We'll
what
just
time-
come
what time
over
is it right
there.
now, actually, what time is it right now?
Maybe about 9 o'clock in the morning.
I thought.
Take note that I pulled that out of your head at 9 a.m.
Let's we meet back
Yeah.
here at Arby's at 2 o'clock. Or no,
Because at
we'll say
5
3
p.m.
o'clock.
you're
Five,
done,
five,
sir, and
yes.
you put it in your head, and I'm switching.
We'll do whatever
Maybe
you
I'll
want.
just do myself
You
on
wanna come with
who
us?
knows.
I hope you don't.
Alright.
pull
Or
it.
not doing it.
Like candy.
Well, that's a fair point.
Yeah, you can eat.
My God.
Don't need to.
He was
That'd be the
enjoying it.
most dwarfish thing I've
Alright,
ever
take
seen.
So me and Enigma.
So the three of you are going to talk to Tivian?
Yeah.
Okay. So as the group makes their plans for the day, I almost called y'all Demetrius Badger and Malachi. Wrong campaign.
Oops.
Baki, Amon, and Enigma make their way over to the large house adjacent to the building that you had entered earlier, which you all learned to be Arby's. As you approach the large building, you do actually see a couple of people immediately exit. They seem to be dressed in just a loose white shirt, small tunic, nothing too elaborate. They seem to be hurrying off to some of the other buildings, carrying small letters. They just seem to be delivering post. And y'all are just walking up to the door.
All right, Amon. What do you want to try and do here? Enigma, you have any ideas?
We should try asking that guy for some more information. I think he might have been holding out on us. I don't know.
Well, Seth did say he's 90% sure he's a liar. So we gotta remember that. Anyone want to knock on the door? Alright.
Robot man.
And the rest of fucking cool robot man just poof.
You watch as
We should break that.
I just tower behind
Actually,
That's
the
kinda
boss
bad,
bucket
right?
just came up and
Yes.
started beating on your door.
I'm just kind of like amazed. I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean,
Impressive knocks.
how tall are you, Enigma? How tall are you?
you're probably taller than me, aren't you?
Warforged are pretty big. They can be around. They can be upwards of
Make a
7 feet
guess.
or so.
Probably like 6'6" or something.
6'6"?
6'6".
Yeah, that's pretty.
Oh, that's about my height.
He's a pretty tall dude.
Or how much?
there.
They're right down my height.
Yeah, it's more like 7 or 8.
Yeah, you're easy. You're on the small side 7.
Yeah, so I'm talking
like,
about,
footballs
I'm
are
talking about
big.
medium.
Just
I'm
basically
talking about
height.
small.
That's
And
my
you're
height.
4. So the best part about you is
That's what I say. I
that
want to tower everybody.
anybody you can ride on anybody's back.
Dude, you can ride on our
Also-
fucking arms. Like,
also-
honestly, he can hang on the Lego like monkey bars, dude.
Okay.
Just that idea of
Just like flex my belly, just sit right here, go on his arms.
So easy to eat.
So as Enigma knocks on the door, there's a small scuffling as you watch as someone opens it. It's a smaller looking male human, a little bit younger, maybe in his late teens or so, has a small scruff of chin beard going, and
How tall is
he's maybe about about my height. He's probably a little bit smaller, 5'6", so he's probably about 5'3" or so. So he's much shorter than the rest of you. As he opens the door, he immediately, hello. What are you?
Hello.
Can I help you?
This is Amon, a friend of mine. And this is Enigma.
Bonjour.
My name is Boggy.
Bonjour.
We were wondering if there's someone named Tavian? Is it?
Monsieur Tivian.
Yes.
Uh,
Is he around?
he is inside. Do you have an appointment?
Yes.
Make a deception check.
No, just kidding. No. Yeah, nah. No.
What'd you roll?
5 plus, what do you add to that? What were they rolling?
Deception is, I believe, charisma.
Charisma?
Let me
Oh, 1, yeah, it's a 6.
Yeah. You seem unfamiliar. I have not seen you around town. I would probably remember if you had an appointment or not. Is this urgent business? You seem.
I'm gonna to Amon and be like,
I would say it would probably be in his best interest.
Make an intimidation check.
can I pull Enigma to the side and kind of whisper to him?
Sure. Are you want to do it out of earshot? Are you?
Yeah, I don't want the little squirt to hear it.
Sure. Go ahead.
Things go south. Just watch your back. Watch yours. Oh, doesn't sound good.
19.
Oh, just kidding. Okay,
You see-
you made it sound so worse.
You see the kid's eyes just kind of. Okay. Give me one moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Closes the door. hear some skittering off.
No.
You hear from behind the door.
I'm gonna talk to Enigma. So since you're like a robot, pretty strong, right? How strong would you say?
It's your max, bro.
Case Sky. We're just talking about.
You're like just going out in the mountains, just picking up boulders every morning for fucking rest. You're just like,
I'm not
just
compensating
hydraulic
for
arms. I can't wait for the day you
I'm
just
gonna
like
see if I can
transform
hear.
into a
I'm
tank.
gonna see if I
like
can hear
fucking
anything.
Optimus
Dude,
Prime.
If there's anything.
Make a perception check.
Perception check. +3. Fuck yeah. Oh, nat 20, dude. No.
Okay, so
It's a
as
23.
so as you put your ear up to the door, you do hear what seems to be a heated discussion between the smaller boy and another male voice, a little bit huskier, so sort of a accent to it, and seems to be quite irate. And then you hear footsteps, and then
Door opens.
the door opens as you take
Oh shit.
three. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as the door smacks you, and you feel your
Oh
nose.
shit! I forgot to add my
What?
other health when we leveled up. Damn it! Because I wrote it down on this in the corner.
Yeah, because he.
Yeah, I forgot I didn't have my sheet.
Yeah,
And it's not
I
there.
don't think it's still there. If
I
you
think
want,
it was 2. I think I rolled a 2, and then I had a what to it?
your Constitution modifier.
See, you rolled bad. I would have just been like, yeah, can I just roll?
Shit, I rolled. I got no.
Now he realizes his mistake.
Straight
I should have just said, I need a reroll for that.
Can I?
Sure, you can go ahead.
You're like, man, this dude's pretty fucking
I really-
stupid.
That's pretty.
Fucking what? Are you kidding me, dude?
Exactly
What
what I was about to
the
say.
fuck?
Exactly what I was about to say.
Wait,
I was gonna say watch
wait.
level 1. And
Wait, hold on. You're rolling a d4.
Is that not what you said? I think you said to roll last time. A D4. I promise you. You
I
said someone said
guarantee
to roll a
you don't
D4.
have D4
No, it's
have
it's
D4 health.
look at your character. Look at your class sheet. Your
The class
the
She
the
got
class
last
one.
week.
The one I printed out for
Brand
you.
new one.
Oh.
Level 2 sheet.
Yeah,
Hold on. Remember that.
because I'm pretty sure the Iron Falcon is a 1d8 plus your Constitution modifier.
Yeah.
No, those are my checks.
Still rolls a 1.
Ah.
Not bad.
Look at what again?
Your hit dice. What's your hit
Hit
dice?
just-
Oh, 1d8.
Yeah,
Hit
roll.
dice.
It's
So
a
roll
it's a
it-
one.
roll
It's
a
a
D8.
1d8.
Roll the D8.
And I would.
Your Constitution.
What's a 1d8?
Don't
This
roll
one?
1.
Is it 1d8?
Incredible. It's
Yes.
it's still, yeah.
Okay.
Roll that plus your Constitution modifier.
Constitution.
He's gonna roll an 8 right here.
5.
Oh yeah,
It's not bad.
that's better. That's a lot better.
13, so not okay, so not.
So you take
-3.
you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as the door swiftly smacks you right in the face. You feel your nose redden as a small little trickle of blood starts forming as this this large +7-foot man,
Oh shit, he's taller than me.
really sturdy built like a tree.
Kind of holding my nose as I bleed. I'm just like,
What the fuck are all these people doing on my doorstep that I do not know?
I'm gonna whisper to Amon. Watch my back.
I had to deal with this yesterday. Are you friends with that fucking dwarf?
Wait, let me think for a second. I gotta think before I say anything.
Do I hear this from across?
No,
No,
you're not
y'all,
hearing it.
y'all
It's
are
telling me, it's
y'all
just
are
me, it's
y'all,
just
y'all are
me.
doing something else across the way.
Hold on, I gotta.
Damn.
Okay. Sorry to intrude, dickhead, but we have some questions real quick, okay?
Wait, what did you?
I said dickhead, alright? Now listen up. This is Amon, and this is Enigma. Do you know someone named Thalia Grave?
Do you know how much I don't care?
Oh, no, you should care. I assure you that, good sir. Do you know Thalia Grave?
No.
I'm gonna insight check.
I'm gonna investigate that.
Insight.
Gonna investigate this.
How tall is he?
About 7'4".
Yeah, he's taller than you, maybe.
He's a big
I
dude.
told you guys before you went that
No.
this dude was built like a fucking truck.
I
Like,
got 7.
there's a reason I picked up the dwarf and just left. I was like,
Yeah.
they were leaving, so sorry.
Yeah, no,
Because I planned on all of the skills.
He is, I mean, he is cold as ice right now. He is pretty ticked off. He doesn't seem to be inclined to. I mean, he's telling the truth as far as you're aware.
I whisper to Enigma.
So you can say I whisper this, and then you can say it full volume. Otherwise, I don't think
Oh,
I'm actually
okay,
gonna
sorry.
figure it
Yeah,
out.
I don't... What do you think?
I think we should be less friendly.
I like it.
Out of
I'm gonna
curiosity.
whisper
Oh my
it.
god!
I'm gonna whisper it.
Out of curiosity,
You wanna fucking shut up real quick?
are we already eating? And is my biscuits and meat really good?
Oh, we'll get to that in a second.
We try to
I
knock
know
him
my
out, maybe.
food's good.
Maybe.
So he just kind of looks at you and he's just, what can I do for you on this day, this beautiful sunny day outside?
It is very nice, I'll admit. But do you know where Thalia Grave is by chance?
Maybe.
I have some very, very good beef with her.
Make a perception check real quick.
20, 14 would be 20 name. Oh, 18 plus 3, 21. Nice.
So this kind of continues off of the first thing that you saw as you were leaving the barn, which was the kind of a cold snap that had occurred over the night before. You do see some storm clouds rolling in the distance.
Okay.
The sun is actually currently not out.
Oh,
It's a little bit cloudy right now. Repeat your question. What are you... Please, I have much business to attend to. With my workers out in the fields, I have their accounts to balance, and I have the welfare of the city to care after, and...
So you have a lot of jobs,
Well, I have one job.
but a lot of little... You just named a lot of little tasks.
If you're going to... I have tasks, but one job. Are you going to nitpick me, or are you going to ask me questions?
Well, you seem to have a lot of things to do, and you seem to have a full plate. Actually,
yes.
that doesn't matter. I mean, I'm tapping. Do you know where Thalia Grave is?
I've already told you, I do not know who this is that you're
Do
speaking
you know where a person named D is?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Inside check.
Yeah.
12 plus 15.
It's a higher DC because you're doing a consecutive insight check. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know. Yeah, it's still cold as ice.
I whisper to Amon, do you think he's lying?
He seems very convincing at this moment.
I can't tell if he is. He's very skilled at it.
Enigma,
Scared. Not trusting.
what do you think we should do here?
Like how y'all are having this conversation.
Yeah, y'all are having this conversation directly as he's watching.
I know, I
this
said we're
conversation.
whispering. I said we're whispering.
Okay, I want you.
whispering.
Okay, like imagine if you walked up to my door, right, the three of y'all, and I was standing there, and y'all were just like,
Okay, well, I guess that's a very fair point. Okay, that is
He-
put it in that
he-
perspective.
he-
and he's just like,
Even if he doesn't
Bruh.
know what you're saying, he is watching you have this conversation.
clearly you're conspiring.
I'm guessing as it goes further on, he's getting more impatient too.
You know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna just try to knock him out with a single punch.
Make an attack roll.
Did y'all expect this?
We're gonna need a fucking bill.
We're definitely leaving town today.
And 13 plus. What do I add? What do I add?
Are you?
You're in
So
our-
so you're doing an unarmed attack right now because you do not have any weapons equipped.
Yeah, I'm just trying to try to
So
punch him.
it's
Strength,
1
right?
plus your strength modifier.
Strength, yeah.
Or sorry, you're just for an attack roll.
Oh, I rolled a d20.
It's just, add your strength modifier.
So 17.
17. Doesn't hit.
Really?
He's a tall fucking guy.
He's
I fucked
you
up.
as I mean it does hit as you connect.
That's not taking
You
him back down.
punch directly into very thick feeling metal. You feel your knuckles crack just a little bit as he just kind of.
Damn! I'll admit. Shit.
She's gonna make an athletics check to try and grapple you.
Great. So glad
Oh wait, I have saving throws and strength. Is that gonna be relevant? in
This is gonna be relevant. to
Okay,
this.
thank God. So I
You
have
make
a
a strength
plus
saving
4
throw.
to this. Oh fuck it! Please, for the love of God, I fucked up. Fuck that. 12. No. Please.
You rolled a 5.
Whoa.
But that's gonna be plus something.
Fuck. I really hope it's when I roll.
I mean,
a 12.
you gotta understand.
So 5. So
He's
I said-
like-
okay, so 7.
He's a
you
big
gotta
guy.
understand. This dude lives out in the middle of nowhere. He's
True.
probably fought plenty of things off himself.
But he just seems sketchy. I just don't.
Oh no, he's definitely sketchy. He's definitely lying.
But he's probably really good. He's a good liar.
He's the big hunch of the town.
Yeah, like
Please try to get my back.
in numerical terms,
It's my goal.
he's probably like 4 or 5 ranks above us. In numerical terms, he's a perfect 10. A glorious Adonis of a man.
So he's like a Patrick Swayze.
Hope he's got like a plus fucking 12 to strength, and he's like a fucking
What?
Goliath
Oh my
under
God!
a
Please,
fucking
you're scaring me.
under
You're
like
scaring me.
true
Look.
polymorph, and he's
Shit.
just like it's a fucking ancient dragon, just chilling. She's the leader of this town.
I'm gonna take him boots in the chest.
Oh yeah.
Nah, you should.
Roll it.
Yeah, he's gonna grapple you.
Are you serious?
As he just is now holding you, and he's gonna slowly just lift you off the ground. Did you have any other questions? I have my town to get back to.
I'm gonna use stunning grasp.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's wearing metal.
He is wearing metal.
Wait, that's gonna affect me, isn't it? Though.
Yeah, it is.
Hold on, wait. Where'd my pen go? I think I dropped my pen. Because I need a fucking.
This is beautiful.
That's awesome.
Continue this.
So yeah, stunning grasp. What is it?
Yeah, 1d8 and another 1d4.
Yeah. So as you touch him, it's a 1d8. As long as you're touching him, you can
Wait, where'd you get
you can make this attack.
Oh, it's not okay. Let's just look.
7,
It'll be the same kind of pistol.
11.
11 points of damage.
Yeah.
Let me.
13. Okay, so not. What the
Okay.
fuck should I be?
You watch to see.
Yeah, it's fucking right here.
He's gonna start glaring at you.
I'm just staring right back at him.
Can I try to, since he's focused on him, can I try to sneak attack and try to punch him since he's crappy?
Roll for initiative.
Yes. Oh wait, what's my initiative? Plus,
He's done being
Oh!
not to fire at this point.
Can I kick him in the balls instead?
Roll for initiative.
Oh shit. I don't know what my initiative is plus. Oh, 14 plus, I don't know whatever I have. But 14?
Amon, are you engaging in combat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you guys, yes!
Jump his
So-
ass.
I'm fucking loving this. I love it.
What'd you roll?
11.
11. What'd you roll?
A 14 plus, I don't know what my initiative is. I assume that 2 is
Oh wait, it's for initiative.
How do you know what
Yeah,
it
for
is?
initiative.
It's your dexterity.
Oh, plus your
Yeah, it's the
dexterity.
next mod.
Solid.
Okay, so I rolled a 17 then.
17. Okay.
So let me write that. I write plus 3, so.
21.
21.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hey, mom, about to fuck this man up. Oh, you're gonna do that too? I'm doing
What's
shit
your
November,
dexterity?
No, not November.
4.
I gotta. It's gonna be
No, your actual. Oh, it's a, it's a plus 4.
I gotta.
Yeah, sorry.
Turn off.
Okay, so Amon, you go first.
Hey. Cool. As I think I'm just gonna go ahead and like take my whip out. I'm just gonna go like straight for his jugular. I'm just gonna.
I'm just gonna go straight for the jugular.
So, yeah. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
18.
Oh, nice.
18 does not hit.
What?
Whoa.
Oh, dude.
As this thing,
This guy's like a legit boss.
as you sling your whip out, he's able to just ever so slightly dodge underneath it. As it's going to be his turn.
Oh, did I miss my ball, my nut shot?
This meat is so good.
God. This roast beef is succulent.
I do, in fact, fuck with biscuits, sir. If you're not going to have yours, can I have it?
I suppose you can have some of my biscuits.
Thank you.
Had shrimp and grits.
You what?
You did
Had
give me
shrimp
my...
and grits.
Man, y'all are
Cream.
enjoying your.
Yeah, we're fucking deep up, man. And it's all on. I'll say it's tab. It's great.
It's great. As he's going to attempt to just kind of
This is
choke
glorious.
slam you into Enigma.
Oh, wait, did my nut shot miss him?
It's not your turn.
Oh, it's not my turn?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you just roll for initiative. You didn't roll for the
Oh,
time, I think.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, he's gonna make an athletics check, and he's just gonna slam you.
Just
What's your AC?
15.
15. That actually just misses.
Sounds like Minecraft music.
So he's gonna try and swing Baki around. It's gonna be what's that? I was not really gonna do any damage to you. He's just kind of swinging you around.
Okay.
But you're able to just kind of back out of the way as Baki is now swung around. That's going to bring us to Baki. It is your turn now.
dope. He's using it like an improvised weapon.
So he's grabbing me by the neck,
So
right?
yeah, you are currently about a foot off the ground. Your feet are dangling.
Okay, and he just like swung me.
Yeah, he's swung you around and
You can always hold.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do. Can I just try to kick him?
Yeah.
Kick him in the dick.
yeah. Go ahead and make a
Just like kick him in the dick.
go ahead and make an attack roll.
I'm gonna fuck this guy up.
I'm gonna dick kick. Kick her
17 plus you said attack roll? Oh, what's no? 17.
17.
Well, no, because it's still
it's
it's
a-
an
yeah, it's-
unarmed strike. It's
Plus your strength mod.
Oh, so 21.
21. That does hit. Roll for damage.
Finally.
It's a 1 plus your strength modifier.
I roll a 1d20 still?
No.
no,
It's-
you're not rolling
So,
damage.
what's
It's
your-
just 1 plus your strength mod?
Yeah, because it's unarmed.
Oh, 1d8. It's a 1d8.
No.
No.
For
Just 1 plus your strength mod.
yeah,
Number one.
One.
Oh, 4. Okay, so 5.
5.
Guys.
Like no, just one. Just plus
one.
that.
Just
Just
one.
one. No
Alright.
dice.
it's gonna take us to Enigma. It's your turn. You watch as and you feel like a pretty solid cling, almost like you're kicking a cup, like someone's wearing a cup, and it kind of stings your leg a little bit, but you feel that you've done a little bit of damage.
Did something.
You've done something.
He definitely felt it. There's no doubt.
I should mention. I don't think it's written on there. The failsafe, you have uses of those equal to your Constitution modifier per long rest. So whatever your Constitution modifier is, that's how many uses of yeah.
Now, all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull out my sword and then just like
So as you
just like aim it at.
yeah, it's gonna take your action, but yeah, you are certainly able to draw your sword and aim it at him as he kind of looks over. I don't know what you think you're doing here. And you still have movement and any other bonus actions, but that's gonna be the end of your turn if you don't want to do anything else. Cool. It's gonna bring us back to Amon.
So what exactly am I witnessing right now?
So you just saw Baki's body slung like a duffel bag. Just like flung around as you hear a sharp cling of shin against metal, and you watch as Enigma draws his sword and is now aiming it at the very large man.
I guess I'm just gonna try and just wrap that whip around his arm to stop him from attacking.
Around which arm? Because he's got an extended arm, and then he has an arm to the side.
Yeah, the one that's holding.
Cool. Make an attack roll.
Down. 15.
It does not hit. As you draw back again to,
Yeah.
It just catches a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
As it doesn't quite get the full extension, and it doesn't get to wrap around Tibian's arm. As he sees this, he's going to make an attempt to just fling Baki
God, you my fucking ass.
off into.
I am all better.
That's a natural 20.
Oh, dude, no fucking way.
This guy yeeted so hard,
There you go. Something got yeeted. It's Baki.
Damn, kid.
That's going to be.
Amnesia party tradition.
It's going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm fucking unconscious, guys.
As you are flung about
I am
10 feet into the air backwards, as
am I.
you are utterly manhandled. And as you fly, you feel the nice cool breeze, and then hard earth as you are blacked out.
Oof. I'm fucking out. I'm just saying no. I just say, oh shit. Oof.
You're
My
barely
final
able to
words.
get this out as you pass
I'm just like, oh.
now. Tivian turns around. Do you want to keep going? He kind of looks at you two, and it's gonna be Enigma's turn. As actually, I need you to make a death saving throw. It's your turn. Get a natural one.
I want
Do
you
it.
to know right now.
Do it right now.
I want you to know
Do it
right
right
now.
now.
Both of your healers are currently enjoying grits and biscuits. So
Could be a problem. Fuck, I'm so scared right now.
I fuck with these
A
biscuits so
17?
hard.
Ooh. Plus
Yep.
what could
So
I
you're
anything
good.
good?
It's just a straight roll. So
You
you
pass.
have one
You
save.
passed one.
Okay.
You gotta pass three or fail three.
Enigma, it's gonna be your turn. You have your the last thing you saw was again like a duffel bag just utterly thrown 10 feet into the air and across the ground. Baki's crumpled body. What do you do? You have your sword extended.
Damn, these grits are good.
Fuck with these.
Sir Arby, your biscuits are to die for, sir.
But
Amazing.
thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments. What is that noise outside? Sounds like somebody has thrown a duffel bag around outside.
Should we go check it out, guys?
Nah, I'm gonna eat this meat. Shoot, I ain't bothered by nothing right now.
True, I'm so full. Or was that you trying to tell us we could go
Oh,
out?
no.
Okay,
You-
cool. No,
we just
yeah, I'm so full.
We're like,
I didn't think I could
I'm
get
just gonna sit here. Enjoy my
I hope
suck
I
my
hope the
wings.
boys didn't do anything stupid.
Oh, they're fine.
What you doing, Enigma?
I heard Enigma's max was 700.
He bitches. That's right. I forgot.
He's a pretty swole dude. He's fine.
Was that bitch power clean?
Oh shit!
Goddamn, he's versatile too. Damn.
Goddamn
On
all
my
over
third
you. That's
plate
what
of
you
biscuits.
About to pass out from
It's
biscuit
like-
consumption.
I'm so full.
Oh, you passed out, you spare them dying.
He's gonna spare the dying of me when I pass out from
So just come back to.
Oh,
Pass
I
out.
fuck with them so much.
What you doing, Enigma?
I'm just gonna look at him. Just go. I was gonna say, I'd rather not push this sword through you. We just came here for answers, and I know you're lying.
I feel as though you have nothing on me, but you come into my town, intrude upon my privacy, assault me, and demand answers for something that I know nothing of.
I killed another version of myself yesterday, and I'd like to know why.
That's
And I
really
think you
weird.
have
I'm
answers.
happy you have done that, but I don't know what that has to do with me. Sounds like a very personal problem. Do you have a twin or something?
I don't know, but I think you know who Thalia Great is.
Make an intimidation check. 12. Actually, I'll go ahead and give you advantage because you do have a sword pointed at him right now. You do have a sword pointed at him, so I'll go ahead and give you advantage.
Also 12.
Wow.
Shit!
Not going so well. Hope you all appreciate it.
Listen, it seems as though you and your friends have some sort of unfortunate circumstance going on, but I do not know anything about your doppelganger or why any of you have shown up in Tellessee. Maybe it's best you just leave.
I thought you were in charge. You don't know what's going on in your own town.
What is going on in my own town? Is there something I should know about?
That's why we're here asking you.
Well, obviously, I don't know anything. Now, please, take your friend and be gone. And he's going to make an attempt to head back into his house.
I think we should recuperate our losses.
You let him leave.
Yeah.
Damn it!
As he turns back, you hear a several locking mechanisms. Yeah. Several
Hear the
locking mechanisms
chains
activate as the doors seemingly heavily locked. And you're outside the unconscious, motionless body of Baki crumpled on the ground.
I got my ass.
We should get him to the other guys. They would know what to do.
I'm just gonna pick him up, just like got him on my shoulder.
Go ahead and make another death saving throw.
12?
12, that passes. You have 2 saves.
What
And
about
6
home?
seconds later, you're
What about-
going to need to make another one.
What
Yeah.
about failed
Yeah,
the
it's-
third save?
He's gonna
The
need
third
one
one.
before he even gets to
You have to get 3 fails.
Yeah, it's first 2, 3, not best of 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as you are y'all picking it up and taking him? Okay. Yeah. As y'all team up and drag him get about 10 feet before you need to make another death saving throw.
Another 10 feet. Oh shit, that's a 2!
That's 1 fail.
I spoke too soon. Those
As it
If
is
you get a
right-
natural one on the next one, you die.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that. Shit, dude.
You
I swear to God, if I actually get
you get to the door before you need to make
another.
another death saving throw.
I'm actually kind of scared now, dude. A 15. Man, thank God.
I was a little bit scared too.
I low key was actually my heart was pounding.
Yeah, it's
As
as
the-
a
as
hard
the-
character. Just,
Yeah. As the door swings open, the three of you see Enigma and Amon dragging the body of Baki, whose eyes flutter open for a half second.
Did they just drop them like right by our table?
Like, you need some biscuits.
Well, y'all are currently standing in the doorway of Arby's, and you look out, and there are most of the place is pretty full of workers who were there before the or for the midday meals, and everyone turns to look at you.
Am I still past that or am I
Am I
awake?
gonna see them?
You're stabilized.
You're stabilized, but
Okay.
you're still unconscious.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
So
But
Just
you're
look
not
at him and be
you're not
like-
in danger of dying though.
Oh God, what did you do?
What happened?
Oh, what happened to your friend? He looks really messed up.
Damn, buddy.
As RB comes over and single-handedly picks Baki up and kind of places him on a table in front of the
Oh,
table where we are sitting at.
Well-
fork in one hand, other hand is very dying.
Well, he's not. He's
not dead.
dying. It won't heal him.
Is he gonna be awake though?
No, it brings him to unconscious
Oh,
if
I
he's
thought
still
you
on the
were-
safe
no.
zones. Yeah, no, I'm the only person who has anything that can actually heal him, and I'm just like,
You don't wake him up. Or
I'm so full though. And I touch him, and I use the virtue of fortitude, and he'll get a whopping 1d4.
Wonderful.
A whopping 1d4 plus my wisdom mod, which is a 4, so you will at least get 5 health. You got 6 health.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the world of the living.
Baki, you
Damn it.
awake and you are laying face. You're laying, staring up at the ceiling of Arby's on your back on a table. Bits of grits kind of clinging to your shirt as you have been set on top of a lot of food. You see the smiling, beaming red, flush, oily face of Arby looking down on you. Are you doing okay, my friend?
Fuck, I got my ass beat, man.
What did you do?
That was pretty big.
Did you Divian?
How'd you know?
He's a big dude.
I'm gonna kick his
As
ass.
he is.
Can I have some biscuits real quick? Actually, I forgot. I have 5 SP, 5 silver. Is that what
You're fighting in my town and you want biscuits?
Yeah, I'm just a little hungry. I want some of your homemade biscuits.
Have you found any information pertaining to
I was meaning to ask, where is D exactly?
I mean, I don't know specifically. There are a couple of my friends in Maparino who could probably point you in the right direction.
Mambarino? How do you spell that?
Maperinio. So there's a couple of people over there who could probably point you in the right direction, but
Can you tell me their names?
Did you say Pepperino?
no, I did not.
Oh, hey,
Sure
Dwayne.
you did.
How you
Yes,
doing, man?
pepperoni's,
Wait,
yes.
Hey, can you have some of your biscuits right there?
No. I told you that dude was a piece of shit.
Okay, I'm gonna intimidate
I did
Give
in
me
fact-
one biscuit. I'm gonna intimidate. I'm gonna intimidate him.
Go ahead and try.
I'm gonna intimidate this motherfucker, dude. Plus,
This is what I dealt with.
nope, just kidding. Nope, just forget it. Forget it.
As you try and reach an arm up, your exhausted body just kind of crumples and
I did say when
Fuck
you
you.
left to just go ask some questions. May I ask now what happened to the questions?
If I get a biscuit, maybe I feel a little better.
Here,
you like
have
grits?
my last biscuit, sir.
Oh, thank you, Seth. I owe you. I reach over and I'm just gonna.
You owe me a lot, sir.
One swallow.
You were dead.
I wasn't dead. I was just
You weren't
unconscious.
awake.
I was just unconscious. Anyway, we thought he was a pretty sketchy guy, like you said. So I tried to knock him out.
You tried to knock. What the fuck is going on?
Well, it was a 3v1, so I was a little confident.
Against that dude? He's pretty big.
No shit, Arby's.
What did you want to? As this conversation is drawing quite a bit of attention, Arby motions. Please, not here.
We can come back and speak
we can
anytime
come back.
you like.
Small town, word will get around quickly.
I'm a bit his ass next time.
Please,
Don't
my
worry.
friends, let us go and talk about our new investment opportunity in opening up
Cheese-infused
a
meat
new
place.
a new restaurant in another town.
That sounds great.
As he kind of motions for you to follow.
Nice.
You watch as Baki makes kind of struggles to get off the table. And eventually finds his footing, and you are led through some of the back kitchens of the building to a back room that looks like it is serving as Arby's office. It's a little bit small and cramped with 7 people, including the very large Arby, and other large entities as well. As you cram in, Arby just kind of looks around you. You were talking to Tivian about what? What was so dicey that you had to resort to fist fighting with a very,
lady.
very large man?
A lady named Thalia Grave.
And also,
Oh.
D.
Your face says you may know something of this woman.
No, I
Inside check.
do not know.
That thing he just said.
So either you're doing separate rolls or one roll with advantage.
With the
Um,
you
I
said-
would do the
Well,
advantage,
roll.
and I would roll with advantage.
Well, then.
Yeah, but,
I
like,
got-
but do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
I should do it.
Then yeah, I want to do it.
Anything involving talking to people is clearly my speciality. I have no other pros.
I'm gonna
in
go
my
back and
list.
kick his ass. We need to go do that. I'm not.
Um,
I'm always in.
So
Right, I'll be
16
down, kick
plus,
your ass.
so 22.
Yeah.
He's
There
not.
it
What's color?
His face does seem to betray him as he looks
Have we not had one yet?
at the sight of, or at the mention of Thalia. His face seems to freeze just a little bit. I do not know who you're referring
Listen.
to.
So,
Please, I do not.
we don't want
Yes,
trouble.
you do.
Listen, little dwarf man. We're not doing this right now, okay?
I'm screaming
He-
this from
he
below.
just-
Just
Yeah.
a small voice kind of.
He fed us, sir. Just let me talk to him for a minute.
Shoot.
Here's the thing. All of us in this room, except for you, woke up in the cathedral 2 days ago with no memory of anything at all. We have seen a direct, carbon copy of this man and killed him. And we saw another carbon copy of this man who was already dead. And there are a lot of questions. A lot of questions. And we heard Thalia Grave owned the place. We just wanted to ask her why.
She came into town a couple months ago.
What does she want?
I did not know. She was. What you have to understand about this woman is she is
She dangerous?
capable of doing whatever she wants.
And then I'll
Sounds
fight her.
odd.
She has a way with words, and well, let's just say, I was a benefactor, and I provided her with much food and some lodging.
So you give her a
She
lot
said-
of meats.
I did give her the meat.
Now, Arby, when you said you gave her the meat, can you
You
explain?
loved it. You loved it.
I feel like you could maybe, you could get some on the side, but do you have your meat?
I did give her the meat.
Was
No,
it a-
no, no. I mean, like,
Italian sausage, was it?
Did you give
No.
Did you give it the full
Arby,
link?
you dog.
no.
Did you raw
this is-
dog it, Arby?
No, I take it. I take it back. That came out wrong.
Anyways,
I fed her. I
Her,
no.
Okay, Arby.
I take that back.
You can be on.
I take it back. I filled her up with no God.
okay.
Arby,
No,
Arby,
I
Arby.
believe we get it, sir.
it.
We
We
get
get
it.
it. You smashed.
I don't.
No, he provided her workers with meals.
Oh.
He ensured that the people who were working it where we woke up was fed and everybody was fine.
So you did supply the meat stuff.
The
Damn.
meats, but not his meat. It just
he has
his
meat.
store's meats, not his
Not my
personal.
penis.
Not.
Where's the penis coming from?
That's what he was saying.
I thought it was kind of obvious. Was it not, Amon?
Oh Lord,
Come on, Dwayne, right?
I thought it was a
Come on.
little on the nose, but
See?
I forgot. You're not used to
Hold on,
talking to people all the
This
time.
this is getting out of hand. Let me start from the beginning. She came into town. I do not know what she was doing in the cathedral, but I do recall seeing someone who looked very similar to you. Seen moving some things about
What
town.
thing?
Wagons, barrels,
Stupid
small groups of people were taking things into the cathedral.
man. Taking what?
Well, I do not know. Parts, different metals, tools.
How long ago? You said a few months ago. How long? A
Well,
few
it
months.
started a few months ago.
Tools.
Started. It's still happening.
These tools look like surgeon tools, like axles.
I believe they could have been.
what does this Stalin look like?
Is she kind of fine?
Did
She
you like
is-
giving her meat?
Dwayne. Come on.
The man said it.
Yeah, but we all cleared up.
But
That,
we
we all cleared
cleared
it
up.
up. It was cleared up that he was
Sorry, we're past
Yes,
it.
he was replenishing.
We are clearly past that
It was
topic.
I
told
checked
to
out
get
after he
cleaned
said
up,
he
man,
gave
like
me
without a doubt.
Exact. Thank you. Okay.
He said he's talking about that Wiener sausage, okay?
She was.
Okay.
Okay, Rick. You know what?
It was
Goddamn
very,
talking meat. Goddamn on me.
very eloquent.
You were saying, Arby's.
She is beautiful.
What does she look like?
She is one of your kind.
My guy.
What are you?
I'm a
He's,
drow.
he's
Okay.
What does a drow look
Dark elf.
dark, bluish purple skin, usually light white hair.
like? Oh, that's cool.
Very. Picture an elf, and then
Even
turn photo negative on. There you go.
Interesting.
Her hair was very long. Whenever she let it down, it would fall cascading behind her.
Are you in love with her?
Well, I thought she was with me.
Do you recall as to where she went?
I do.
Tell me right now, please.
There is a place called shit. I need to look it up. Give me 1 second.
Shit, I have to look it up.
1 second.
Nice name.
Which is appropriate.
Sorrow for dick size.
Yeah, none of us have rolled for next
On Twitch and not allowed to.
Because I do 100.
Yeah.
So we had to roll for foot size.
Get the
Yeah.
platform.
She left for Lico.
For what?
Rico?
Legal.
With an L.
Legal.
Lego?
Li-
Like,
It is east of here. or sorry, west of here.
Are you
It's-
sure it's west or west?
It is west of here.
100%.
Yes. I saw
How
him
do you
leaving.
spell that place? L what?
ICO.
Are there any defining features of her, or is it just long hair?
She keeps it up in the braid, very ornate braid. It is a symbol of her intelligence, or so. That's what she would tell me. If you reached a certain standard in her order, then you would be provided with a braid specific to the order that she was. Forgive me, I should not have. I forgot.
What's this order, partner?
Her people. Forgive me, monsieur. I am not familiar with your customs or. She had the family, the graves. This was her order. What they did, I was not familiar with. She would not tell me, only that it was important work for Zin. But she reached a particular mastery. She had such a way with words. She would describe things that she had seen in her past, such beautiful.
Is she a dangerous woman?
She is.
Let's go kill her. Okay, well, wait. Let's not go kill her. Let's go find her.
Sir, listen. You were just chokeslammed, I believe, by a 7.5-foot tall man.
I'll kick his ass. Don't
So,
worry.
I believe at the current moment, if anything, we should probably maybe focus on getting some gear of some sort and maybe, I don't know, establishing some kind of foothold.
It's
Opposed to
okay.
just being like, man, I woke up in a pissed off mood, let's go get our asses handed to us again.
At this point, I need everyone to make a perception check real quick.
Oh.
Group roll.
16.
16,
15.
15,
11.
Crit. 24.
14.
14,
11.
11. The three of you, ignore this, but the three of you feel a slight draft. As you look around, there aren't any windows necessarily. There is a small slit underneath the door that leads back into the kitchens from where you came, but you do feel a slight draft in the room. The rafters are extended maybe about 3 feet up into the ceiling above the office, and you are able to see through some of the slats that make up the roof. You aren't quite sure where the draft is coming from, but you feel a bit of a draft.
There you go.
Did you say it's good?
Maybe.
Are you high or something?
I don't know.
Ghosts?
Ghosts?
You're fucking with me, right, Delaney? Come on.
Listen. Thalia is a powerful. I'm not quite sure what exactly you would refer to her as, but she is familiar with magic. I would be very careful approaching her. She knows much. She has seen much, and she has accomplished much of her goals. If you are here, I do not know what that means. I do not know what happened at the cathedral.
I think she has something to do with it. I wish to go find her, boys.
Well, I have a question for you, Mr. Arby.
Yes, Mr. Dwarf.
So, seeing as this is a smaller town, are there any other towns around here with a library and such where we can acquire more information?
Well,
Thank you, sir.
it is ironic that you ask such a question? Rico is one of the larger towns.
How
Cities, I
exactly do you
should say.
get to this, Rico?
He said it's west,
It's
Wayne.
Lico with an L.
You must,
Okay,
you must,
Lico,
you
whatever.
must pass.
Lico, you
That's what
short
I'm
stuffed
saying.
bear.
You must take the southern road through Maparino to the crossroads. There, you can head west.
And is this a larger town
It is.
with more work, perhaps? 'Cause I'm trying to get that paper.
I think you mean that gold, sir.
I'm trying to get that coin. Those
No one
coins.
other than dwarves use the paper currency anymore. Crash
Yeah,
their
great.
economy.
You little
Everyone knows that.
God dang it.
You can't just print money and then expect, it to have value.
Is that the ultimate
God
madness?
bless
What civilization would
dwarf
last
essay.
under that kind
We can get into
Values,
economics
currency.
on the road.
of... You know, I think I'll write the first book of economics
On-
ever.
On the flip side,
So was there when it was written.
you said that your business you have business in Maripolini, Pepperoni. Whatever.
I have some friends in Maparino who could possibly know of this person that I am intrigued in, but perhaps is it
Well,
in hindsight is not as
Names would be good.
it seems as if it's on the way. At least, I think I can come up with some way to get a message to you if we find anything out and let you know. But would you have any way of getting us on the road other than walking? Because I imagine it's a long walk to the next town, a longer walk to Lico from there.
you would need a wagon. And fortunately, I live in Stalia.
With a small
My
You said
wagon.
you had Thalia's wagon? Damn, buddy.
She has mine.
Well,
Ooh, do you ride her wagon?
Yes, sir.
I think
I kind of
you may have a wagon.
No, that's
Do you ride it? Okay,
that is
Arby,
not
I
what that
see
means.
you.
I take it back.
I kind of grab him on the head.
As if he just kind of stop it.
Ah.
You are making me uncomfortable.
Ah.
Listen, if you want to get to Maparino, you would need a wagon.
And I think I may know a way to do that one.
Very well.
First, we have to kick that guy's ass.
I
No.
recommend
No.
not tingling with
No, we
Tivian.
We can go, and we can take care of some business. Maybe get a little bit of money, get some finer gear. You know, I believe he was wearing a big suit of armor when I saw him,
Ah, fuck him.
and I believe maybe you would benefit from a smaller suit of armor, or you know.
Actually, I am proficient.
Oh man, I know it would make your AC not 15 if there was a numerical value on an armor class system.
Because I don't understand what you just said. This is the first time I've ever.
This
Yeah.
it's a very
You're confused.
it's a-
What are these magic
it's a
words you're
soul-
speaking of,
It's a
Seth?
soul warden thing. It's just
You've never
it's
read the
easier
book?
to classify
I
things
see
by
the numbers.
Goddamn numbers.
The damned numbers, man. No,
So I'll take care of seat.
How long would it take us to get there?
About a week.
on cart.
But we don't have any food for a week, so we gotta figure that out first before we go on this trip.
Well, currently we're at a town. Wildlife tends to stay away from a town. We get one day out from a town, higher chance of seeing deer, larger game.
Arby, do you suppose you could give us
the
a load
meats.
of meats?
On Hosey, of course.
On the promise that if you run into Talia,
I kill it.
no.
We give
I,
him a
I
kiss
have a-
for
I
you.
have a good feeling that he's not going to want it dead. So.
You want to give her meat?
Yeah.
No!
Alright, come on, buddy.
Inside check.
Oh!
Oh, that's a check.
Damn, I like that. I did not expect good. This is not the way.
16.
He wants to get rid of
He
it.
wants to give me. Woo! Go Army! I just look at him and I just.
That's what love is.
That is besides the point.
I understand.
I do not want you to kill her. She means too much to me at this point.
Oh, really?
Are you related to her?
We should.
Oh wait, sorry. Just kidding.
Play that back in your mind. Say what you said again. Think about what you said. Do you feel shame?
That was the response.
Yeah.
That's all.
Please.
Mr. Arby, do you perchance happen to know any of Thalia's associates or know anyone that could know her?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is the rest of her clan. If she had any family, there would probably be Drow.
I'll give you a quick rundown real quick, because I'm half that at least. All Drows have, like her name is Thalia Grave, which means she is of House Grave. All of her family members have the name Grave, and they're not necessarily by blood. You earn a right into a family. Before she became a Grave, she was just Thalia.
Just a random.
Just Thalia. Drows don't have names until they're accepted to a house. And I can almost guarantee no one there will sell her out. That's her family.
There's always a weak point.
We're gonna have to hit up the library, boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, you must promise me that you will not attempt to kill her. It is not so much for her sake, although I do care for her. I fear you are no match.
Well,
Do you have any explicit photos you'd like us to give her?
What is it?
Dwayne!
Photo.
Dwayne!
A drawing of some sort
I
of your meat.
I do not have any.
Oh,
Inside check.
I thought you.
Inside check. Inside check.
I'm gonna assist.
Can he assist?
Go ahead.
Okay. So
Because he did ask first, so yeah.
That's better than mine.
15.
Wait, plus what's your insight? Oh, dang.
Listen, it is a small town. There's not a lot to do. We're getting off track.
We're teasing.
Don't kill her.
We're teasing.
Do not engage in a fight with her.
What if she
I
engages
beg
us?
I'm assuming
He's in beg for your life.
No.
you have to look at it from a logical standpoint. She managed to wrangle all of us, restrain us all, wipe all of our memories.
Do we know that 100%?
At the current moment, that's our biggest lead, and that's why we're hunting her down and you want to kill her. Unless you're just like, fuck this bitch named Thalia Grave because I don't like that name.
The three of you who felt the draft feel it get a little bit colder.
Mr. Arby,
Is it?
are there curious weather patterns in this area, region?
No, it is pretty warm here, actually.
I would beg to differ.
Oh,
Well, then why is it chilly now? It's usually warm.
You don't feel it.
You don't feel
don't
it.
Well,
feel these-
I mean, no,
Yeah.
we woke up this morning and it was cold outside and there was
Then- oh, yeah,
crunching
yeah.
on the ground, and he just clearly mentioned that it's warm.
It is. You are feeling a draft. I'm
Sure.
not. I'm not.
It was just chilly outside. You okay?
I'm
Uh,
feeling a drag.
I think you are probably just tired.
I don't know about that, but
I think I know the difference
Stop your
between being tired
bullshit
and
now,
tired
Mr.
for one
Arby.
thing.
Yeah, you can, yeah. If you want to make an insight check, you can make an insight check.
12.
12. It's telling the truth.
Is there a meteorologist somewhere around here?
Oh my
I am
God.
unfamiliar with that occupation. I know what the meteor is.
Well, if you have any food you're going to give us for the trip, we will be leaving probably before the end of the day. I have to go now. Thank you.
Very well.
I go right outside.
So, getting closer to the center of town, your planar sense pings.
Okay.
You're not quite sure where it's coming from. It seems to be
Just around.
hanging around. You're not quite sure what exactly it is.
Is it cold outside though?
Did he rush like out? Like,
Yeah, like I straight up just I was like, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
I'm following you if I see him.
It does feel cold out.
Um,
What are y'all wearing? Because y'all aren't wearing
I'm just in my robe.
any winter gear.
Yeah.
Overalls.
If I get cold, I just are there any people on the street? Anybody walking around? Any?
Make a perception check,
Any-
and you
anything?
follow it as well, Rick.
Yes.
The rest of you watch as Cytheris immediately bolts from the room, and Rick follows closely after.
Oh no, where are they going?
What is?
Yeah,
Are your friends okay? Is
I don't know. They're fine.
23.
so what do you get?
9.
9.
I got 23.
You do see a couple of people. The both of you see a couple of people. It seems to be like the normal hustle and bustle of the day for whatever Tatellus is.
But how are they dressed? What do they wear?
They seem to be wearing similar clothes, work clothes out in the fields.
Do they appear to be cold? Do they look like they even notice the weather's different?
No, they seem to be just normal, going about their day.
How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, hello.
How's this weird weather,
It
huh?
was beautiful weather.
Oh,
Weird weather.
no, never mind.
You do
never
not like
mind.
the warmth.
No, it's just a little hot for me.
Okay. Perhaps you should find some shade. There's some trees.
Detect magic.
Your planar sense does pick up stuff as well.
Yeah.
It's still hanging over, but there seems to be. You do detect magic as well.
Just like as a backup.
Yes. This seems to be all around you. You see a kind of almost like strings, just kind of floating in midair. It seems to be kind of falling,
Nothing attached
Slowly.
to him, just small.
just strings of necromantic energy. You are able to detect the school of magic, so it does come from the school of necromancy.
Refers to Cytheris because he's the closest near me. Necromancer.
This is. I've never seen this before. We need to get everybody together, and we need to just figure out what the hell's going on. Who's dying?
Oh,
He died. Sorry.
Mr. Arby, when was the last time you gave your meat to Thalia?
Dwayne, for the love of God.
I'm just curious.
No, this
I
okay.
need
Like,
to know when she was here.
ignore the little shit. All right.
Are we going back
Answer
into
the
the
Enigma.
building?
What do you think?
she was here last week,
Of course she was.
She was here last week.
6 days ago.
And where did she
All
go?
around.
The place you told us before, right?
To Rico.
Shoot.
She is very likely already there.
We gotta go right now, Enigma. Dwayne. Just let the boys know.
Well, Mr. Arby, you have decadent meat.
So if you can,
And I enjoyed chewing it. Good day.
if we can,
Man, it's.
if I keep the promise, will you give us a load of meat
It's something.
for a week for each of us?
Well, I will admit, she's probably one of the stranger deals I have made. But it is important to me. I will come through with my end of the bargain if you do,
You have our word.
as you have mine. I wish you the best of luck in discovering the truth behind your unfortunate circumstances.
Thank
As he begins leading you back through the kitchen, as you get into the lobby area and you see the rest of the patrons kind of look back curiously, which as he goes, "Oh, that was a wonderful conversation we just had about opening up a new restaurant. Okay, see you later. Bye bye." And he shoves you out the door.
But bye.
And the four of you see Rick and Cytheris just kind of looking around, and it does feel pretty chilly outside. The majority of you, pretty much all of you, who are not clothed for cooler weather,
We're starting to see it.
you are able to see your breath a little bit.
There's
Boys,
a problem.
do you boys feel that?
I'm sure
There's a
you do.
major problem.
Anyone?
What is
What do you think
it,
about
bud?
this?
Strings.
I do magic, but this is not anything that I know. I don't know.
Well, Mr. Arby said the girl was here about a week ago. So maybe we should. He gave us some meat for the road for each of us.
At the current moment, I believe everybody in this town is in a lot of danger.
So should we let Mr. Arby know?
Well, there.
I say we did.
Here's the thing. I don't think anybody's going to believe us. And I say that because we asked someone on the street a minute ago, this is weird weather we're having, right? And
Okay.
he said, oh, it's a beautiful warm day. And it very clearly is not, in fact, a beautiful warm day.
Where does man go? I'll ask him myself.
Is there any other
Do I
people on
see
the street
anyone?
right now?
Do I see anyone?
All you see on the street
Oh, they're all gone now.
is no, they're still going about their business. You see a couple of wagons stationed around. One wagon is placed next, or is kind of drawn up next to the well and the signpost. One is behind near Jossie's. This looks like the one that Jossie had mentioned that he would like y'all to help in shipping. And there are a couple of others that seem to be in transit between the fields, carrying various tools, stalks of wheat, things like that. Your planner sense. And your detect magic, because it is still up. See something in the well.
It's
Um,
like it's pinging in the well.
Like a glowing,
There
or-
seems to be something that is kind of draped over the well, hanging over the edge.
Which one of us?
Well,
Both.
we both see it. So
Oh, so yeah.
yeah, now I'm going to go investigate
Yeah, we
it.
go approach it.
I will inform everybody that hey, there's something that's making my soul sense tingle.
Something manifesting.
Your
in that
soul
well
sense
there.
tingle.
That's what I'm going to call it. Don't judge me.
Okay.
But yes,
Okay.
there's something over there, and it's might potentially be whatever's making this place as cold as it is.
As you make your way over to the well, you feel the temperature drop very noticeably. Whereas before it was not so much a strong breeze, it was just a very crisp chill. The closer you get to the well, there does seem to be a bit of a breeze coming up and out of the well. And the thing that you noticed draping over the well is now apparently visible to the entire group. Gently resting, hanging over the rough stonework of the well, dangling further in, is a human spine.
Just a straight human spine.
It seems to be hanging right there.
I want to send my falcon to retrieve it. 100%.
As you, Lucy expands, and you send her out.
Awesome.
As she gets closer, she goes to reach for it, and then kind of pulls away. I need you to make a for Lucy. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
It's going to be on the other sheet.
It's on the handout that we do.
That sheet's important. You'll use it a lot.
Yeah, especially for Lucy. Anything you need to use Lucy for is going to be on that sheet. Yeah.
You said Constitution.
Constitution. Yeah, it's in the stat block up there for Lucy, your Falcon companion.
8 plus. Is that right?
No. It's top the box.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. That's bad. Just
She doesn't seem to want to touch it. You hear her voice. Listen, I don't know what this is. Please don't make me grab it. Please don't make me grab it. You touch it.
Lucy, for the love of God, you're here for a reason, all right? You gotta listen to what I do. Just do it. You're doing this.
There's something that is compelling Lucy to not grab it. Physically, you watch as Lucy gets further, reaches out a claw to grab, and then you just can't seem to get past.
Fine. I'll do it. And I'll walk up and I'll over myself.
Constitution saving throw.
8.
The closer you get, the stronger the wind feels as you get maybe about 2 feet from it, and as you extend a hand out to grab it, your hand doesn't seem to want to go further. In your mind, you will yourself to grab it, but your hand seems to have a mind of its own as it just does not want to go any further.
Okay, boys, there's a big problem here.
Okay.
I can't grab the fucking thing.
What do you mean can't grab it?
Like, I physically can't grab it. You can try.
Step aside.
Go
I would
ahead.
just like to investigate it.
Make an Arcana check.
Also, as I'm walking up, it gets colder the closer I get, right?
It does.
Oh, yeah. Definitely warming it up by the full 20 degrees.
An interesting congruence of mixing temperatures. You feel the chill try and fight you on this, but you are able to raise the temperature.
Yes. Yeah. So you said an Arcana?
Yes.
It's 21.
21. You have, while you haven't experienced this type of magic before, you have certainly read about this type of magic. This seems to be some sort of blend between necromancy and enchantment that seems to drain the will of certain creatures and compel creatures to ignore whatever object this is.
I would relay that. Is that so? The fact that we even notice it right now is a big deal, and that's why nobody else notices that it's cold. His balls outside.
Anything do you want to try to grab it?
On the flip side, it's undead in nature as far as that goes, and you're gonna have to have a strong sense of will to get through to it, or it's gonna force you to stop every time. So whoever thinks they have the highest will of power,
I'll try it.
go for it. Then little tin man.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
7.
7.
Cool.
We're doing so bad today.
I'm so
All
glad.
rolls are.
So as you reach your hand forward, you actually feel yourself able to go through for a second, as then immediately you hit a wall. The second after this happens, you watch it retract
Into the water.
into the well below.
Does the well have like an awning over it, or is it just like a hole?
It does.
Alright, boys. I should go down in that bitch.
Okay.
Dwayne.
Now.
Okay.
I'll take one.
Listen. I'm not about this idea. But there's gonna be some issues to come up. First issue.
You're fucking short.
No, it's irrelevant. It's better that it's short. We're going into a well.
Okay, well.
What time is it?
Looking around, it's become very cloudy. The sun seems to have become
It's not
mostly
5
obscured.
p.m.
It doesn't. No.
No. Your little sludge ball. Sorry, fam. It's done.
No.
If you want to go in a well and you want to mess with necromantic poltergeists, I'm not going in tapped, buddy.
Fuck, fine.
Okay.
Do I just give you my little ball back?
No, it's just going to dissipate in a minute.
Just saying. Shoot. Should I still go in the well though? I think it'd be fun. Well,
We're all
I'd
about
like
to
to
go
look
in the
into the well.
Make a perception check.
Okay, fucking 2.
Two.
Dude, this is so bad.
As you look down into the well, it's pretty dark. There's not much sunlight providing any assistance in looking into this well. It just seems to fall into. You actually don't see any water either. It just seems to go down.
I'm gonna yell into it, see if I hear it. Hello, buddy.
Hello, buddy.
Oh, shoot, buddy.
Hello, buddy.
So this seems like a hollow ash.
What do you see,
It's
Dwayne?
more than a hole. Hello. I don't see nothing.
Wait, do I hear that?
Everyone hears it.
Actually, buddy.
Oh, shit.
Never mind.
Never mind.
I think I'm good.
Hey, who's that?
Hey, who's that? Hey, who's
Bitch.
that? Bitch. Bitch.
Okay. I want to
Okay.
step closer. I want to see.
Okay.
I want to step closer.
Make a perception check. Sorry, are you peering in?
No. Well, how? Where am I right now? To the well.
So everyone is within about 5 feet of the well.
Okay. I just want to step up to the well, so I want to lean over.
You're not peering over.
I wanna. Is it like a rock nearby or something? Like, is there any like?
Yeah, it seems to be a couple of small rocks.
I want to grab some rocks. I'm gonna throw it down.
Here.
And I want to count. Is it hitting the side of the well? Okay.
This will go straight to hell, boys. I ain't fucking.
It was a solid. It wasn't a sploosh.
No.
Roger Dodger. I sit down and take 10 minutes to meditate. Switch out encode thoughts for lightning lure.
During this 10 minutes, what are the rest of y'all doing?
Oh, wait, okay,
I'd
so
like
it's
to
open?
switch out my dark wire for my heavy wire.
Okay, it's gonna take you about a minute,
Oh,
but yeah, you
wait,
can do
I
that.
can't do that either.
It is the time, gentlemen, that you would have two. Please. Could
I
you can cast
send
light
my
and
falcon
just
down.
You can certainly try.
on
Yeah.
somebody. Okay, they have light.
I'm gonna do that.
Um,
I'm gonna send Lucy down there.
as Lucy begins a soft descent into the well, you hear empathically, Baki, I'm scared, Baki.
What do you see, Lucy? I'm right here.
Make a perception check at disadvantage. Actually, just a straight roll, because
Perception check.
the keen sight.
Oh, +4.
Yeah.
Wow.
If
Pretty
his
fucking
bird
awesome.
dies, is it dead?
12.
Look at that. I don't. It's very dark. I don't see too much.
Do you hear a voice down there? Or wait, can Lucy hear like other noises? Like, would it be able to hear that voice?
Does it have
Yeah,
ears?
I hear things. Yeah.
What do you hear necessarily?
Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello.
Do I hear this as well?
Would we hear this out of the well?
You do hear the soft hello rise up and out of the well.
Who's down there?
Who's down there? Who's down there? Who's down there? Who's down there? Who's down there?
Me.
Don't play the pronoun game, dick.
Don't play the pronoun game, Dick. Don't play the pronoun game, Dick. Don't play the pronoun game.
Whatever's down there is stupid.
Okay. Here's the thing. What happens if your bird dies down there? What happens if your bird dies in general? Is it dead? Because if that's the case, you might not want to be as big of a prick to it. Because if it dies, you don't have a helmet anymore. 90% of your class features probably just go to shit.
Well, I still do have that my falcon clothes. Just half finished. So anyway, can I? What happens if my it just dies there?
Make an intelligence check. With advantage.
Oh sweet, it's saving the thing, so plus 2. Okay. So that was shitty. 11. 16.
Lucy has died once. Then you turned Lucy into what she is now. You've never tested whether or not, if she dies now, she will remain attached to the mechanisms that you have provided for her.
So it's up for debate.
It's never been tested.
It's all in theory.
Lucy, come up.
Like,
I know you. I know you died before, but I'm gonna. We gotta figure that out.
the split second after you say that, you see, thank you.
Okay, first of all, I know you're scared, but you're here. You know why you're here, okay?
I know.
Yes, I know you do. I just kind of put her on.
She nuzzles up.
Yeah.
Apologetically.
Okay, boys. Clearly there's someone down here. Clearly we don't want to piss it off. So what should we do?
I mean, clearly we're going to piss it off.
But
I say
first
we
of all, okay,
Say
well
we
that is
do.
an option. But we're no pussies.
Say we snatch one of these carts and get the fuck out of here.
We should probably figure out what this is.
Why?
We should probably get.
Do you want to make money?
You can make money in Lico.
Lico, you realize...
That's a week away.
No.
can walk.
Lico is much further than a week away. Pepperoni is a week away.
Oh, is it? How far is? I
Pepperoni-
thought you said Ligo was.
Pepperoni's about...
About 6 days travel?
You said 6
No, Ligo is 6 days travel.
Told you, see? A week.
It's about 50 miles to Pepperino.
Man, we're moving, because I'm looking at the map here, and that's a solid 240-mile trip.
To and from Ligo?
Yeah.
From where
Well,
we're at
I
now
mean-
until we go. You gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go down and around.
Arby doesn't have a map.
Huh?
Arby doesn't have a map.
I'm just saying.
He doesn't really know.
I'm just saying, logically here,
He doesn't leave
Yeah.
town too much.
yeah, I wouldn't imagine. He has a restaurant in the business. But anyways, to understand, if we kill the creature, we'll take care of whatever the problem is. There's the solid chance that somebody gives us money.
I like
Well, how do
money.
we
Or-
know anyone
or-
knows it exists?
or-
I like money.
That's a fair point. in a
Or
way.
it's been killing and eating people and it has money down there. Because
First, so we have no
I've read
weapons.
in books that that's what monsters do.
We have no
Are you
weapons.
saying this could be related to all them boys walking out in the woods?
Correct, sir.
We have no weapons of any kind.
I mean, you have...
yourself, buddy.
Y'all are...
I have my fists and my weapons.
Everybody has a assault weapon except for me. And
Yeah.
I'm the one who's like, let's go down in the hole.
How the fuck are we gonna approach this kind of shit? Like, we gotta be
Easy. Like this. Dancing lights. All the way down.
This does provide plenty of illumination, as it seems to go down a lot further than you would imagine this well
I'm gonna send my
to go
phone camera.
down.
I'm gonna send Lucy right after him, following him.
Well, I'm not going down. I'm just sending the light down for now.
Oh,
And
okay.
then...
You are able
Wait.
to see into the bottom of the hole, to the bottom of the well, as at the very bottom is a jack-o'-lantern looking up at you.
Like, just a straight jack lantern. Like, just.
Hello?
Oh, shit!
Hello, 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 hello.
I'm going to say it quietly so it doesn't echo as bad. Would you like me to come down there, sir?
No.
Or what?
Why the fuck not?
Stay where you are.
No. Loudly.
No, no, no.
I'm coming to you.
Bet.
Fine, buddy.
Back up.
I back up.
I jump back.
You hear a small snap. That's all you hear. Just a small snap that seems to echo from
A
up,
Thanos?
up and
I
out of
look,
the.
I look around, all around us. Anything? Like,
Make a perception check.
no. It's going to be a 8.
Anyone else?
I'll make one.
Y'all are just kind of moving around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull my finger.
Okay.
My detect magic went off already.
I'm gonna. Oh!
Your detect magic does go off. Actually, yeah. You are able to
Planar
turn
sense
around.
would too, wouldn't it?
Actually, yeah, never mind. Scratch the perception check.
Rewind.
You notice a tingling sensation behind you as you turn around and you see the well that was stationed right next to the wagon that was stationed right next to the well, and sitting on one of the it's kind of like a stagecoach type wagon. On one of the benches is a jack-o'-lantern looking at you.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
You seem to be making it very cold here.
It's not up to me.
Who's it up to?
What he said.
It is not up to me. It is up to what I am.
Well, then, what are you, buddy? Clearly, you know what we're trying to find out, so just say it.
They call me the Dullahan.
The what?
The Dullahan.
Dullahan.
Dullahan. The Dullahan.
Okay, and what is that?
They took it from me. It is in a grave somewhere. Somewhere nearby is a grave. I want it back.
Is it a Thalia grave? Ha 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 ha.
Boom.
I do not know who took it.
Took what, buddy?
Is this grave by a
Your
cathedral?
virginity?
My head.
Oh, it is.
So it is.
Wait. This is the DM question. Because I didn't write this down in my note. There was a severed head in the cathedral in one of the rooms, wasn't there? And
Yeah.
we were just like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Yeah.
is
That's the only thing I can think of. Is like it's either the cathedral or has him fucking held up in his house or some shit, and we're literally about to kick down this dude's front door. If we get you the head, we'll all be fine in the town.
You suddenly feel a temperature change as things warm up, and the wagon appears to slowly decompose from the top down. The covered wagon begins to mold and decay. The wood blisters and splinters as it becomes a bit of a spectral-looking wagon, fully corporeal. Further down the road, you see a horse approaching. No response to the question.
I assume that I'll take that as a yes, and that means that you would ride out. Well, I guess we'll be back shortly.
I thought we were trying to get Arby's there.
Everyone just kind of sighs.
Yeah.
I go, thank you. I'll be here.
We'll be here all day.
Yes.
No, so I guess we'll go back to the cathedral.
But how do we know that's his head? What does your head look like, buddy?
Response.
I think he's done with us for now until we bring the head. Unless he wants us to get on. Do you want us to get on your weird corporeal stagecoach?
The horse is approached at this point and seems to stand right next to the wagon, just kind of looking at y'all.
Do you speak horse? Did you answer? Okay,
Kind
fair
of
enough.
face to the ground.
We're going to go get his head.
Well, I pick that up?
Yeah, because he gets animal.
I speak.
You
Yes.
do
Oh, yeah, that's
hear
right. I could do simple animal thoughts as well.
you do hear the horse respond in affirmation.
He wants us to get his head, and I'm assuming that it is in the cathedral. We shall go do that.
Gets around to the front of the wagon expectantly.
Are we riding with you?
It kind of looks back.
Okay, roll jet.
Seems like asking too much questions.
This is cool.
I call riding on a horsey.
I don't think it's going to let you smoke it, man.
It kind of looks
I'm
back
pretty
and
sure.
I go, yes, horsey.
gets down on his knees.
Thank God, man. This is going to be so fun.
Make an acrobatics check.
You know I'm good at that.
Yeah, because you got saddled up.
Cowboy, fuck.
Come on, cowpoke.
8.
Slides right off.
So you kind of overshoot it as you jump up and over, and you're just now on the other side of the horse as he looks over.
Oh, sharp, buddy. I'll try again.
Make another acrobatics check. 20. This time you feel that you've accurately estimated, and as you kind of do a quick little side hop, you get up on top of the horse as it gets back up, and you are now atop this horse.
I motion to everyone. Come on, friends.
I assume we're all on at this point.
You get on the horse, and without any commands given, the horse begins to begin pulling off up into the direction.
I'm going to pet it.
Yeah.
Whole time.
Pet the mane. It's actually a very silken mane. As you pass your hand through the mane, it's very cold to the touch.
Based on the pace we're going, can we estimate how quick we're going to get to the cathedral?
Probably by the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's going to be nighttime by the end of the day by the time we get to the cathedral.
I'm aware.
It's going to be extra spooky.
Spooky time. We want to wait for them.
Let's go ahead. So we're going to go ahead and take a break.
It's already 11:30. Realistically,
we should probably go ahead and call it.
We can just
Actually,
call it here.
yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel like next week's session is going to be really interesting. Y'all are going to get to see some fun stuff. Yeah, we're going to call it for that episode. That's episode 6 of Amnesia Party. This will be up on YouTube in the usual time. Last week was a little bit different just because it was a short.
YouTube wouldn't load.
YouTube was being weird, but yeah, it'll be up soon. Thank you very much for joining us. Tune in next week for some fun spoops, Halloween themed episode.
Back to the cathedral.
Yeah.
Back to cathedral.
All right, guys, have some good R&R, all that jazz. Enjoy.
For the spooks.